Okay, so I don't really have a plan for this video. I just kind of felt like I wanted to make something, and hopefully you can hear me. I haven't done any digital art recently, so I've just been doing canvases on top of canvases, and I've ran out of canvases, and then I found 4 more as I was rearranging up here. And as you can see right now, I'm working on our beloved toga. I'll show you a proper picture. I've already put a bit at the end where you can see how it looks. And today I'm going to write Himiko here, so we'll see how that looks. But yeah, I was kind of thinking last night about I don't even know if it's a subject to make a video about, but I wanted to make a video sort of addressing how easy it is to become despondent and want to give up because of external pressure, you know, bills and life and fucking I've got no followers on Instagram and whatever, you know, no one's seeing my artwork, blah blah blah, or, you know, I stream on Twitch as well sometimes when I feel like it. I've done it loads of times before, and I wound up hating it because I was trying to become a streamer and not an artist, and it just wasn't doing me any good at all. But anyway, I sort of found myself struggling there as well with the same sort of thing, like no one's seeing my stream and no one's seeing my artwork and blah 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 and all this nonsense. And you've just got to hold the faith, you know. You just got to trust the process. These things take time, if indeed time is even real. I got my reference here, by the way. But yeah, it's really, really super easy to become despondent and kind of low energy about stuff. And I think that stems from doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing stuff to be seen. If you do it for the love of it, you've already won. You know, you don't win. You don't become. You don't win by being successful. You know, you win by never working a day in your life and getting by. It's which sounds strange, but it's true. It's like if you became famous doing artwork people liked that you hated, you might as well just get an office job, you know, to pay the bills. Just get another job you hate. And that could be down to gratitude, you know, not being grateful for the fact that you have this ability to make enough money from your art. You know, it's whatever. It's that's up to you. But if you love what you do and you spend the time to find your audience, you've already won, you know. It's just a matter of time. Don't worry about, don't let yourself become an algorithm sort of chaser where it's like, what's popular right now, what's trending. I hate that word now, trending. Trendy used to be kind of cool. If you were called trendy, it was like, oh, awesome, you're like a cool person, you know. Trending is just like cringe. Another word I hate now. Oh, that's so cringe, bro. Bro, that's so cringe. Yeah. Tell you what's cringe is wasting your time seeking the validation from others. And funny thing is, when you get that validation, you realise it doesn't actually come from them. None of it comes from them, it comes from you. It brings a feeling out in you that was already in you. Nothing changes. The picture's the same, you're the same. You've just heard words from another person that's made you change how you feel. So why not do it without the other person and just validate yourself? Yes, this is the painting I want to do. This is the way I want this painting to look. If you can do that and get the painting to look the way you want it to look, then fuck what other people say. You know, I started it. You'll see, I haven't changed the name of this channel. It was called Waifu School, yeah? Or it's still called Waifu School. Because originally I was like, yeah, maybe I'll make a channel sort of teaching how to draw anime and how to draw your waifus and whatever and blah. And I just suddenly realized that that's not what's coming out of me. That's not what's happening. I'm doing something else. I'm doing something that I actually enjoy doing. I enjoy talking about. And I feel like I'm very qualified to talk about, given a unique origin story. Not necessarily a unique origin story, but you know, it makes me sound cool. It makes me sound like a superhero to have an origin story. But I like talking about this stuff, and also it's therapeutic for me to talk about this stuff too, because it reminds me of shit that I've forgotten about. It's like, oh yeah, I knew that the whole time and I just completely forgot. And sometimes I get despondent and I get all sad and low about it, and then some trigger comes along and I'm like, and then I remember. I'm like, oh, that's why I did it. That's why I do this. And that everything comes from me. There's no need to seek anything from anywhere outside of anything other than yourself. Ever. Himeko. Cool. Yeah, and you can take that as far as you want. You know, you can take it as far as money in the bank. You know, I disregard how much money my bank account tells me I have. You do that. Be delusionally self-confident. You know, when other people, because I'm kind of like that. I'm kind of the person, if there's something I'm interested in doing, I'll just say, yeah, I can do it. Like, can you draw this? Yeah, I can draw that. I'm very confident with my artwork. If someone asks me, can you draw this, can you draw that? I'll nearly always say, yeah, I can. Because I know how all of these tools work. And I've used them for years and years and years. And I know how to get them to do the thing I want them to do. But we all can do that with everything. And that's where the delusional confidence comes in, where you don't care about any external circumstances. You can just do the thing that you want to do. So, will I be able to sell this piece? Yeah. Someone will find it. Someone will buy it. If I want it sold. It's never going to get sold if I don't put it up for sale. So it's kind of like, you know, if you're struggling to get your artwork seen, make sure you're actually putting it out there to be seen for a start, because that's the first step. People are nervous, people are a bit scared. What are people going to think? You know, what if people say it's crap? I could not care less if you think my artwork is crap. Really don't care, because I didn't make it for you. I made all of these pieces for me. These aren't to please anyone. I wanted to paint Toga because I think Toga's cool. I painted that. I made that into Princess Peach because I thought that would look cool as Princess Peach when I drew the crown on it. The rest of it, there's not really any peach there. That became peach when I drew the, just check you can see it. This one became peach when I drew the star by her eye, and I was like, oh, I'll turn this to Princess Peach. And I could do a crown at the top, and I could do some graffiti at the bottom, which you probably can't see. Yeah. I didn't do it to please anyone. I did it because I thought it would be cool. Now some Mario purist will come along and say, that's not Peach. She's got the wrong eyes or lips or something or whatever. I'm like, okay, this artwork's not for you. That's alright. Don't worry about it. Just move on, man. You don't have to please everyone. If you attempt to please everyone, you will succeed in pleasing nobody. I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but it's true. So who's the one person you can guarantee you'll be able to please without sort of hoping for the best? And it's yourself. And I often find it even helps to go into anything, but let's just keep on the topic of art for now, with no expectation. I just knew I wanted to paint Toga when I started this. I didn't know how the piece was going to show itself. I didn't know I was going to do the teeth here. I didn't know I was going to do a whole face. Didn't know I was going to write that at the top. That says more blood, by the way, because, you know, Toga, blood, whatever. Didn't know I was going to paint Himiko at the bottom. I didn't even know how I was going to write Himiko when I decided to write Himiko. In fact, until this morning, this was just going to say Toga, and then I changed my mind. So, when you have no expectations of something, how can you fail? You know? It's like, I'm just here to make something. I don't know. You can give yourself a theme. I'm here to make a painting of Toga. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I want to do a painting of Toga. Now I kind of want to paint Midoriya. Don't know why. I think he's a whiny bitch. Anyone who's seen My Hero Academia will know he does not stop crying and whining constantly. But I kind of like the whole kind of green aesthetic. I think it's kind of cool. And I quite like a lot of the characters in My Hero Academia because of how they're drawn. I like the graphic quality, almost I don't know, almost video gamey kind of aesthetic the whole show has. And the wild designs the characters have, like Fat Gum and All Might. Like he's got like no eyes, and then he's got tiny eyes, and he's got a mouth that's just made of teeth, and you know, I just think it's cool. Similar with JoJo's. I just don't like the show that much. But yeah, I just do it because I want to do it. I went to a gallery the other day and asked them if they wanted to host my work. I don't know if they're going to host it. They said send an email, show us your work, tell us a bit about yourself. I was like, okay, cool. Really nice. Did all that, and I'm just waiting on a reply. And if they say no, I'm not going to get despondent. I'm not going to go, what do they want me to paint? That defeats the whole point. You literally may as well just go and get another job that you don't like doing, because you're going to hate every minute of painting stuff you have no interest in. I used to think I enjoyed realism. I always had this idea, and I do to some degree still, but I wanted to be like, you know, Da Vinci level painter. Or there's another artist I like called Christian Hook. He had this kind of choppy oil paint style, but super detailed. Somehow he combined like real abstract shapes with super realism and portraiture and things like that. And I still do like that to some degree, but man, after a while it becomes a grind. You know, I just needed some big fat swaths of paint across it. I did a portrait before and I was so tempted just to get a big fat brush and do a big white stripe across the eyes and then just leave it. But I didn't do it. Whereas now when I get like a temptation to do something in a painting, I just do it and see how it goes. It might come out crap. And if it comes out crap, I paint over it. And if that means I've got to sit there for a bit fixing other bits, okay, maybe they'll look better after I've fixed them. I don't know. And when you open yourself up to fucking it up, then you see a lot more possibility. You know, when you start taking risks, this is true across all of life. When you start taking risks, you find new ways of doing things and new things you didn't know you could do. And risk means more than just, you know, skydiving or driving without a seatbelt or driving drunk or something. It just means like I took a risk by just writing Himiko in massive letters across all of this, you know, and it might look shit, and if it does, that's cool. I'll figure it out. I'll do something else. Maybe I'll paint over the whole thing, start again. I don't know. I find that when I'm slowing down and thinking too much, how's this going to look, blah 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 blah, am I sure I want to do that, what if it goes wrong, that's when you just start getting paralyzed and you end up doing nothing and just wasting time. So if there's stuff that you want to create, stuff that you want to draw or paint or whatever, just do it. Don't worry about what people think, just do what you want to do. If people don't like it, it doesn't matter. It's not for other people, it's for you. If other people like it, and they will, then you'll find your audience. In fact, your audience will find you. Look at someone like Picasso. His artwork was fucking crazy. I don't think it was that good. I used to be obsessed with it when I was much younger. But, you know, it's a bit wild to come out and just start drawing people the way Picasso drew them, but he wanted to draw them that way. That's why I was talking about Damien Hirst in my last video, which like no one saw. I wonder if it's because I said a certain word and then YouTube kind of killed it. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out with this video. But yeah, if you just want to make some art that looks a certain way, ignore everybody else. Don't copy. Don't try and make art look like somebody else's art, because that's not your art. That's not coming from you. Because you're going to then criticize it. You've gone into it with the expectation that I want this painting to look like this person has painted it or drawn it or whatever. And if it doesn't look exactly like that, and you're going to find every little difference in that picture because it's your artwork, no matter how good other people say it is, you're still going to say, you know, it doesn't look quite like theirs, and there's a very high chance it never will. You'll never capture what they capture. Be inspired by it, absolutely, of course I am. You know, this is going to come from, this Himiko here is going to come from like black metal albums and death metal albums. I'm going to try and make it look like that illegible, viney, branchy looking writing. And there's an extremely high chance that people that look at this painting won't be able to read that or this. That's cool. That's fine. Doesn't matter. And there'll be a small section of people, a small group, that might get it. And they might go, yeah, I'll pay for that. Or there might be people that still don't get it and just like how it looks. You don't know what the reasons are for people liking your artwork. And does it matter? I don't know. I don't think so. What if they like it for a different reason? Like, say you painted this picture and it had some real deep meaning to it. And people didn't get the meaning. They just liked the way it looked. So someone comes along and buys it and goes, oh, I just love the way it looks, blah, blah, blah. And you say, oh, do you get the message it's conveying? And they just go, no, I don't. I just like how it looks. So you're then not going to sell it to them because they don't see in it what you see in it? You're going to deprive them of your artwork? I mean, maybe you are. That's fine. And in fact, that is totally fine if that's what you want to do. If you would rather sell it to someone that gets it, that's your call. But I don't think that's the case with a lot of people. I think a lot of people just want to draw anime characters. That's all most of the world wants. Alright, this is looking. This is looking the way I wanted it to look, considering I just like free-handed it on, as I did with the rest of it. But I mean, I didn't sketch it on. Yeah, I'm just kind of talking as I'm painting, to be honest with you. I'm getting a lot of external pressure. I think that's what it is at the moment. There's a lot of external pressure for me to act a certain way, and there's something in me that's saying, don't do this. Don't do the thing that you're feeling pressure to do. And it's nothing like terrible. I'm just not going to go into too much detail. It's nothing that needs to be worried about. Because it just doesn't feel like the right thing, and any other person would tell me I probably should. And I'm just like, man, no, I don't. This just doesn't feel right. I have this intense desire not to do that thing for some reason. And anyone can imply or infer any reason they want. Because they'll make up their own story about you, their own reason as to why it is you're doing or not doing what it is you're doing or not doing. But you'll know, and you can just say, I just have a feeling. I think we need to trust that a lot more. You know, ignore the fear of getting it wrong and be prepared to get it wrong and be okay with that. And adapt to a new situation, because sometimes, and I think actually a lot more frequently than you might think, it goes right. But if you don't even try, you'll never find out. 100% of the shots you don't take are misses or something like that. That was something Kobe? Did Kobe say that? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take? Actually, a whole bunch of athletes probably said that. I can hear music. But, you know, if you never take that shot, you'll never know if it was going to work, or if you can even make it, you know? Don't give yourself that chance to get it wrong. Then you're just, you know, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you keep doing the same thing every day, and expecting something to change without actually doing anything different, you keep working that job you hate. Trying not to swear so much. Do apologize. Keep working that job you hate, just hoping that one day it's different and not crap anymore. I don't think you're gonna be very pleased with the outcome. You know, you just gotta keep in your mind what it is you're doing, and then take the steps that, you know, sit and think for a bit. What are the steps towards doing that? I want to be a professional artist. Okay. I want to be a professional artist doing the artwork I want to do. I want to love every day I work. I want to love what I paint. I don't want to love what I do so much that it never feels like I'm working. Okay, what are the steps to doing that? Okay, enjoying everything I do. So I want to find an art style that I love creating. Okay, cool. What do I really want to paint? Doesn't matter what it is. What I really want to paint. What I really want to draw. I want to paint toga. Alright, cool. How are you going to paint toga? I don't know. I'm just going to get started. Okay, good start. So do it. Do the thing. And that's why I'm not doing the thing. This thing that I am feeling a huge amount of pressure to do. Because I'm going to see what happens, and I'm prepared to get it wrong. Because I'm opening up the possibility for it to be right. If I don't even allow that, then of course it's never going to go right. Take some risks, man. Stop being so safe. Take some risks with your art. Take some risks with your ambitions. Take some risks with everything. It's so important, man. We've become so safe with everything. Like before, when I streamed on Twitch, I over-tried. I can't do this until this looks right. I've got to make sure that the people who are watching are having a good time. How am I going to make sure they're going to have a good time? Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get all this interactive stuff that you can do, and you can buy this, and if you do this, then I'll do that, and just all this crap. And it was like, man, I actually just want to paint. I don't want to do any of this shit. And I got sucked into this, like, into having convinced myself that was what I wanted to be doing. It was like I never wanted. Yeah, I want people to come and have a good time, but mostly I want to paint and have people have a good time. But me trying to help people have a good time is making me not enjoy my painting so much. And now I'm doing something else entirely. So now I stream again on Twitch, which you can go follow. Twitch.tv/blushcoven. BLUSHCOVEN. I'll put a link somewhere if YouTube lets me. And now I'm streaming and I'm just doing this basically. This is basically what you get, only I'll talk to you in the chat and probably try and flog some of my art at you, which I'll do at the end of this video as well. Like, if I don't make people aware that they can buy my art, then no one will buy my art. And you never know who's watching, you never know who's listening. It doesn't mean become like a shill for your own art. I'm not going to become a salesman and tell you why you need my art. I'm just going to let you know it's there. There may be some people that feel that they have to become a salesman. There may be people that feel they want to become a salesman for their art. That's how they like to do things. They'll find an audience for that. It's no problem. I'm not judging them. I don't think they're bad people. I don't think they're bad artists or less of an artist or whatever. You know, I don't think they're selling out. I think that's just the path that they think is the right path. They're on a different path to me. Go for it. You know, I mentioned an artist in the last video called Slawn. I don't want the same path as him. I can't have the same path as him. Because that's his path. He's a different person. Totally different art, different ideas, does things I don't want to do. I'm just going to make my own. Make my own. I was even thinking the other day that maybe I shouldn't be doing anime art. Maybe it's a bit weird and a bit creepy that, you know, this bearded, almost 40-year-old guy is painting anime. Is there something creepy about that? I was like, I've been into anime since I was like 8 years old. The first anime I ever saw was Akira. And I'm like, yeah, definitely shouldn't have watched that at that age. I know. But, yeah, that was the first anime I ever saw. Great first anime to watch, though. What a film. So I've been into this for years, since I was a kid, so... And I started trying to justify it to myself. I was like, yeah, no, you've got a right to paint this. You've been doing this you've been into this for years and years and years. You don't have to stop. Like, there are people... Nicolas Cage collects comic books. You know, he's way older. Sorry, Nick, if you're watching. Nicolas Cage frequents my channel, just so you know. And I was like, who fucking cares? Like, actually, who cares? Do I care? I want to paint this. I don't care what people say. Like, it gets into my head as well. I've got this, like, it's a constant kind of, it takes kind of constant work to have this kind of mindset about things. So, yeah, bollocks to them. Do what you want to do. You know, if you're painting something you think might be unpopular, but you really want to do it, just do it, man. Who cares what people think? If you want to make money from doing it, then it's necessary. You know it's necessary to get your art out there. So get your art out there. Or maybe, actually, you wanna sell your art and tell no one that you do art. That's actually the path you want to take. That's the path you want to take, you know. But don't criticize it the whole time, because you chose it. I'm not critical of my path. No one should be critical of their own choices. There's a lot of people that are going to try and shrug off, oh, this is beyond my control, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. It's actually not. You're making a choice. Oh, I don't have the money. You do, probably. You just prioritize other things, and that's fine. You prioritize paying your bills on time. It is a choice. It is actually a choice. No one is forcing you. No one is taking money from your account. You can just go cancel all your payments. Maybe you're prepared to risk getting your electricity cut off, or prepared to risk going without food for a while. Maybe you'll decide to start a fast to save money. You know, it's I'm not recommending you do that, by the way, but it is all, you know, suddenly when you realize that you don't become a victim of anything anymore, like of anything at all. There's like a much deeper level of understanding to it. That maybe you'll, you know, if you kind of continue looking, there is a much deeper level where you realize actually everything is my choice. And then you become a victim of nothing, and then you realize, well, I wouldn't choose anything that would harm myself. I've got the best of intentions for myself. I want to do well. I want to succeed. So maybe this is just another step in the right direction. It just doesn't look like it. You know, I just don't understand why this has to be this way. But I just trust that it does. And that's what people are called, you know, Jesus take the wheel, or trusting in God, or having faith, or whatever. But maybe that's for another video. But yeah, man, it seems to be that like when like I said, when I started this channel, I was just gonna teach people, this is how you draw a face, and this is how you draw boobs, and this is how you draw legs, and just draw how you want it, man. If it doesn't look the way you want it to look, then keep working on it. I do it. There's things I don't think I draw well. There's particular angles of the face I don't draw well. Like if her head was tilted down and she's kind of looking up, for some reason I just can't get it right. It always looks odd. Her face looks squishy and too wide, and I have a habit of drawing wide faces. Their eyes are nearly always more than an eye width apart. In fact, togas are an eye width apart, I think. Almost. And I think it actually looks a bit weird. I kind of prefer that, where her eyes are actually a bit too far apart, and her eyes are too far apart, and all these eyes are too far apart, you know, and their faces are kind of squashed. But that's just how I like to draw them. You know, I almost wish I hadn't measured her eyes. I did actually get a paintbrush, measure it, right, eyes there. I kind of wish I just freehanded it. I'm not going to change it because I just don't care that much on this painting. But if it really bothered me, I'd have to paint over it. I'm not going to look at this paint, I'm not going to work on this painting for days, or hours, or whatever, or a week, or weeks, and not be happy with it. Just checking I actually spelled her name right then. Himiko, yeah. But yeah, I'm not going to teach you how to draw stuff. I can teach, you know, I suppose if at some point someone notices something specific they see me doing, you know, how do you, I don't know, how do you draw an eye? Then yeah, I can, and it gets enough people are interested, then yeah, I can do that. I don't mind that, but I would much prefer it to be like just guidance for you to guide your own way of doing things. And that's not because I'm worried. I actually don't mind if people copy me. I just don't care. You want to copy my artwork, go copy it. Like, literally, I really don't care. I can't do anything about it, so it's not something I'm gonna try and control. But yeah, do what you want. Some people just like copying, you know, and that's fine. It's a hobby. AI art, not for me. Not gonna resent anyone for I tell you what, the only problem I have with AI art actually is that people try and pass it off as their own. That's when it annoys me. I don't lie. Don't, you know, my trust in you is a little bit shaken now. So we're gonna have to have words. But honestly, I don't care about AI art. If people want to buy AI art, then they can buy it. But I don't know. I feel like there's something about knowing someone painted this. It's also, I'm not that interested in prints, unless it's digital art. Then yeah, obviously, I kind of need to allow that to happen. But some people don't care about that, and they're happy with the print. Which, by the way, I'll make some prints at some point. At the moment, all you can buy is originals. But yeah, man, I didn't really have a plan with this video. I just kind of wanted to talk at you, and this is the thing. I didn't have a plan with this painting. I don't have a plan with this video. Generally, I don't have any script. Like in the last, how many videos have I made? Is this the fourth one? In all my last videos, there's no script. I've kind of had a subject I wanted to talk about, but I just kind of, I don't edit. Sometimes I edit like out a little bit, just only large pauses or me clearing my throat or something like that, and that's just to make it sound better. But I don't know if I'm going to edit this at all. I'm not interested in going the whole Mr. Beast route. You want to get your click-through rate and your viewer retention and blah, blah. The people who are going to be interested in my shit are going to sit and be interested in it, and the people who aren't are going to go away, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm not gonna monetize this channel, because the last thing I want is ad breaks in the middle of it. I hate that. I hate it so much. I'd rather make money from just my art. So if you want to support me in some way, just buy my art, you know, or come watch me on Twitch or whatever. But I'm not going to monetize this channel. I'm not going to have ads as much as I can control. I'm not going to put ads and get ad revenue from this. And that's something I really disliked about Twitch, was the fact that they force ads on your viewers if they're not subscribed to your channel. Man. And the fact that now you actually can't even opt out of having a subscribe button. Crazy. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm probably going to call it there. I don't know if this video was helpful to anyone. Hopefully it was. But yeah, share it with people. Like it. You can comment and ask me any questions you want. I'll probably reply. I'm not like, you know, at that level of viewership where it's just an unmanageable amount of people in the comments yet. So yeah, there's a good chance I'll reply if you shoot me a question. Follow me on Twitch, Blushcoven. I told you earlier in the video, I'll try and add a link. If I can't figure it out, then I won't. But yeah, I'll show you at the end of this. I'll put in a little montage or something of this this picture. Yeah. Anyways, see you later. So, as promised, here's the finished, well, I say finished, it's not quite finished. I want to get some black markers around here, a bit like what we got going up there. and go all the way around this and make it pop out a bit, and then maybe do it with a red as well, maybe black and then red, or maybe just red, I don't know, but yeah, here she is. I'm pretty pleased with how she looks.